Oh, are we up? Well, hello there. What is going on, everybody? Happy May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. We are doing something a little different. I've got a slightly modified setup back here, and I don't know if you guys have seen in some of the videos lately, but we've changed our setup a little bit, and wanted to do a live stream to chat with everybody and to see what's going on in the world with everyone. And I'll show you guys a little bit of some of the things that I've been working on, and also, just hang out a little bit and talk about Star Wars and talk about things that aren't Star Wars. So that's good. Yeah. So. Anyhow, and we're also going to do some giveaways too, because I haven't done any giveaways in a while, and I'm going to do giveaways on Patreon and here in the live stream, and also probably on Discord as well. So we're going to try out a couple of different things, and just have some fun. I've been doing a lot of hobbying lately. I've been doing a lot of painting. I have been catching up on Shatterpoint. I've had a lot of Shatterpoint stuff that I had not got around to painting. Up next on the agenda is going to be this guy. Cad Bane is still all in white. I don't know why I primed him in white. I've got a new mode for priming now, and it's unfortunate that I discovered this so late in my time. What's going on, Troy? What's going on, Leslie? Thank you guys for joining us today, and we're gonna have some fun. Let me know what you guys are. What are you guys working on lately? What are you gaming? Did you do any gaming today? Did you watch any of the new Star Wars stuff today? Did you see the new trailer for the Acolyte? I think there's a new the Empire. There's a new Disney Plus short series that went live today. I'm gonna watch that later. I haven't watched it yet. But let's talk about what you guys have going on. And what's new in your lives, what's new with Star Wars, and of course, other topics are allowed. For example, Star Wars versus Star Trek, who wins? That's certainly a topic. And of course, it's always a loaded topic too. But yeah, what's going on, Sploder123? Have a busy night. All right, well, have a great time. Have a great night. I wanted to do this an earlier stream, but things are chaos, and I've had so much going on today. It's been kind of crazy. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do a stream at all. I wanted to stream earlier. That's kind of how it goes. What in the world is that? Use closed and dockable when if you like it. Use the dots menu on the menu bar. Oh, okay. All right, I see. You have been Senate has been having a terrible day. I'm sorry that your day is going terrible. That's awful. I hope it gets better. Yeah, I hope it gets better. I haven't been having the best day either. Sean, what's going on, buddy? He's working on the orcs. All right. I've been working on. Been working on this guy right here. I've been doing a little, getting a little stuff prepped for some Age of Sigmar and some other guys, and trying to get Shatterpoint all kind of fixed up and everything like that. Let's see. I am looking for a menu. That's gone, isn't it? Oh, that was annoying. My streaming software has a little extra pop-up that's supposed to integrate with YouTube and show the chat, but part of it was like blocked out, and clicked the wrong thing and it closed out the whole window, so had to go the old-fashioned way. Let's see. JP Taylor picked up Star Wars Unlimited Starter. Oh, that's a fun game. It's a funny game. I'll say this: Star Wars Unlimited, man, like it came in really hard and it kind of blew me away, and I was like, oh, this is such a great game, such a great game. And lately, I'm just like, I don't know. Am I burnt out? I don't know. Maybe I just need another set number 2 to drop. I'm looking forward to playing set number 2 a little bit, but I feel like it's a great game. That ever happened to you? Where you have a game that you love, and then you're just kind of like over it. Like it's like, all right, I think everything that this game can do for me, it's already done. You know, I kind of get that feeling sometimes. May the 4th be with you as well. Let's see. Let's see who I missed. There's a lot of chat, so if I don't get to you, I apologize. I'll try to get a lot of questions shown. I've been working on. Let's see, what have I been working on? I've been working on these guys, the Night Sisters, and Mother Talzin, and she's did their little yellow-green magic and stuff like that. I put some skulls on the bases there. And put a little green highlighting. I posted some screenshots. I don't know if any of you guys follow any of the social media accounts, like Instagram or Twitter or whatever. I posted some pictures. Been doing some new stuff with backdrops too and terrain. I've been doing a lot of new terrain stuff. The new city terrain has been a lot of fun. I took some of these crates and I've been doing like weathering on them so they don't look, because they were very like bright and shiny, brand new looking crates and stuff like that. So I've been doing some of that. I've been doing some. I've been trying to do posters, which is the latest thing. I got this. Basically, printing out like posters that might be on buildings or on fences or on terrain, and I got this Mod Podge. And I already had some Mod Podge, but I didn't like it. It was old. It was real thick, and you had to get a big brush and all this other stuff. And this is like Mod Podge Ultra, which you can just spray on. It's like spray on glue. And I just spray it on the back, stick it on there, done. You know, it's really cool. I just cut out some paper, spray it on. It's a lot. It's awesome. Did you watch Tales of the Empire? No, not yet. I'm going to tonight. So is this next holiday Revenge of the 5th or of the 6th? Oh, great question. So that's the new topic. That's the new topic, and we're gonna do a giveaway. We're gonna do a Star Wars Legion giveaway. We're gonna do a Star Wars Legion giveaway. Every 100 viewers we get, no, every 50. We'll do every 50 viewers we get. Well, I'll throw another giveaway out there. So that's a cool one. This first giveaway is gonna be a triple. It's gonna be a triple. So we're gonna get command cards for Director Krennic. These are alternate art command cards, or promo command cards for our Director Krennic. These are from 2019 tournaments. So you're going to get 3 Director Krennic command cards. Just give me a hashtag Krennic in the chat. And yeah, and don't worry, there will be stuff for other games as well. If you're not a Legion player, don't worry. Stand by. Yes. Are you playing in the 2-round Armada tournament tomorrow? Probably. I put a list together. I got to mull it over a little bit, but I am. I got to figure out something to run. I'm trying to do something wild and crazy. But yeah, I am playing. Planning to play in that tournament tomorrow. So if you guys are in Orlando and want to do some gaming, you can come on out to Coliseum of Comics tomorrow on East Colonial. But yeah, let's see. Shatterpoint 2, but you're waiting for Gen Con to try it out. Oh, Gen Con's a little ways away. Senna says, plan on getting into Cyberpunk Combat Zone. Hope it's good like everyone says it is. Okay, so I love it. I haven't done like a proper review of Cyberpunk Combat Zone yet. But I'm really having a good time with it. It's super fun. I think the rules are very flexible, and you can play kind of deathmatch or specific sort of different objective scenarios and things like that. It has all of that stuff. It's good. It's really good, and it's shorter games, and it's a little bit smaller squads. It's like I'd say it's probably similar to Kill Team from a certain point of view. And yeah, I like it. It reminds me of Legion in some ways, just a smaller version of Legion. And, you're just controlling like 4 or 5 guys, depending on the points limit you're going with. And it feels good. You guys use a lot more to do with the individual characters. And it's so many things you can do. The system as a whole is also really cool. It's very very cool. It's just very adaptable. It can work for just about any scenario. If you guys have just joined up, we're gonna talk Star Wars. We're doing a giveaway right now. Hashtag Krennic for Krennic's command cards. If we hit 50 viewers, we'll do another giveaway. 100 viewers, another giveaway, so on and so forth. And I'll probably also have a little something for Patreon. We'll get another giveaway also after this. So if you're a patron, of course, you can enter here, and then also on Discord we'll have another giveaway. So patrons get three, all three. So fun stuff. Let's see. Bossy says, do you think Balin's Skull and Shin Hati can become units for Legion similar to the Fifth Brother and Seventh Sister? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Look, anything that we're seeing can definitely come in. The real question is, where do you put Balin's Skull? I feel like you put him as a merc that works for the Empire. You might be able to put him as a merc that also could work for the Republic, as he said he used to be a Jedi. You might put him as a merc that could work for the Separatists. You might put him as a merc that can work for anybody, depending on where the story goes. I wouldn't make Balin's Skull just yet. Or I would wait and see what Ahsoka Season 2 has in store for him, because we may learn a little bit more about his backstory and learn a little bit more about who he really is. As a character, as a person, as a Jedi, as a Force user, as a rogue, as a mercenary. I don't think he's pure evil, but he's definitely got evil capability. And, yeah. It's pretty interesting. So Senate, if you're not a miniature painter, I have a great... are they making standees like they are for edge runners? So I think so. I think that's something that's happening. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that a little bit. So Edge Runners is up for pre-order right now. Very, very cool game, especially if you want a minis, a dudes on a map game and don't want to have to paint. You can get the standees version. It's a lot more affordable than getting the whole miniatures version. It's a big price difference there if you're getting miniatures or not getting the miniatures. But when they sent me the preview stuff, there were like Arasaka like standees, and I think there were like Maelstrom standees and stuff in there, and I didn't actually get to talk to them very much about that, but like it made it look like there were standees for some of the stuff that comes in the base game of Cyberpunk Combat Zone, Cyberpunk Red Combat Zone. So I think there were like Tiger Claws and stuff like that in there. So I definitely think that's something. I know they have the capability to do that, but I do think that's something that they're planning on doing. I'll have to follow up with Monster Fight Club to see, but they have a Discord also. I don't have a link to it off the top of my head, but they're pretty active on there, and if you can ask about something like that, and they'll answer you. Like John Kowaleski is like very active on there, as well as a lot of his staff. So. They're pretty responsive to questions and stuff like that. So it's a pretty cool Discord to be in addition to my Discord, which is linked down in the video description below. We're going to go with, we're going to do our first giveaway winner here in just a second. And the way that these giveaways work, my normal giveaways, I announce winners at the end of my videos. But for like live stream giveaways, I'll just announce it here. But I'll need you to send me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com, and he also needs you to tell me what you've won, because I'll do multiple giveaways periodically, and not everybody tells me what they won, and sometimes it can get confusing. I'm like, well, what did Joe Smith win? And I might send you the wrong thing. Might just send you some rocks. Nobody wants rocks. I got a lot of rocks right here. Basing materials. I actually went out and bought rocks. I didn't want to use the rocks on my front lawn because I thought they might be too big for some things. So I bought little rocks. Worked well for like Savage Opress. So like, see his base there? It's got some rocks on there. Some dirt, some grass, some rocks. I like putting dirt and grass and sometimes rocks on my bases. It's fun. It's fun to place little rocks down there. All right, so the winner for our first giveaway is going to be for the Director Krennic 3-piece command card alternate art promos. is going to be Derek M. Thompson. Congratulations, Derek M. Thompson. Go ahead and shoot me that email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com, and we'll get that sent out. If you did not win, don't worry, we're going to do more giveaways. But make sure you tell me in that email what you won. Remind me, because I get sometimes emails from folks, whether they be winners for other giveaways, regular stuff, or just all kinds of stuff. It becomes quite a bit. Let's see what else have we been working on. I've been working on some of the Naboo stuff for Shatterpoint. I've got some of these guys out in front of me. They are not done yet. So I've got Handmaidens right here. I'm really not happy with them. I don't know why. I like, there's something about the yellow. Like, I almost want to just like re-airbrush them yellow or something like that, or maybe glaze over the top of them a little more. And of course they're not based yet. I still got to do the face and the eyes and stuff. I put like the white of the eyes down. I've got a lot more to do on them. I'm mostly done with the Amidala twins. I've got Keira Knightley here. She's mostly done. And it's focusing on me, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's gonna. No, it's not going to. I'll have to manually. I set my camera up to manual focus, so it wouldn't do that. And I've got Padme here as well. So I got them. They're not done yet either. They're mostly done. When I get the Handmaiden satisfactory, I'll base the whole set. I like to do them in small groups. I do them like as a group of 4. When you guys paint, how do you do it? Do you do one miniature at a time? Do you do batch painting? Or I'm going to do like, I've got 300 orcs to do. I'm going to do all of the orcs base coat, and then I'm going to do all of the orcs boots, and stuff like that. Or do you do like something in between? I had a really cool method that Sean, my friend Sean, I don't know if you're still here, Sean, or not, but he suggested is that like do them in groups, like do like a team of 5, then another team of 5, and then periodically, and this applies when you have a lot of painting to do, then do like a reward miniature where you basically you have that hero that you want to do, or that dragon, or that really cool project that you want to do, and so you do all of these little ones, and then you take a break, and then give yourself a really fun one to paint, and then you go back to doing like the monotonous, repetitive stuff, and then go back to doing another real fun one. But yeah. CH3, have you heard of Special Operations? Yeah, I don't want anything to do with that. I kind of hate it. Yeah. I don't want to not have like Jedi and named characters. I don't want to run only generic characters in Legion. I like having vehicles. I like having Jedi. It takes everything I love about Legion and flushes it down the toilet. So no, I don't want anything to do with that. For Shatterpoint, you paint one squad at a time. That's kind of how I do it for the most part. It's going to be interesting though, because they have like a bounty hunters pack coming out, and they're not like squads. They're just 4 different individual like minis. Count Dooku lightsaber just got here, Troy. All right, cool, man. So did you get the Black Series one, or did you order from somewhere else? The Black Series ones are pretty cool. They're kind of in between. If you go with lightsaber when you're buying lightsabers, do I have any close by? I've looked at a lot of lightsabers, and the Black Series ones are kind of like a mid-grade ones that are not terrible, but and they're better than some as far as the blades, but they're not great. So, like if you go with some kind of third party or some kind of, a lot of these companies that were sending me lightsabers were based out of China, and it was weird because they're very hit or miss with their quality, but. And a lot of these things I didn't even notice until like weeks and months later, when they were just like, "Oh, let me try and use this one again," and it's just like, "No, it only worked for a couple weeks," But no, they're doing this thing where like some of the places they have like an RGB blade or a NeoPixel blade, and the RGB blades are okay, but they're basically just like flashlights with a tube around them, and they only look okay. But the NeoPixel blades are amazing. And so like the Star Wars, the Black Series blades are kind of in between that. It's got this LED pixels that are inside, but it doesn't have the resolution or the complexity that a NeoPixel blade has. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Let's see. If they add the rest of Phoenix Squad, do you think they'll do something similar like Bad Batch? Oh, that's a great question. I actually want to. That's a good question for AMG, really, because I think they definitely can. I think the Bad Batch has given them. They've explored just about everything, every different way that you can add characters to have stuff that might not have seemed like it would fit within Star Wars Legion. It will fit now. Now that we've seen so many different options. Everything from like Inquisitors gave us a way to just be like, oh yeah, you can have multiple operatives, no problem. To Bad Batch, which is like, oh, they're all just one unit, all working together. Like the Phoenix Squad or the Spectres or the Ghost Crew, right? The Ghost Crew works kind of in different ways. I think what they'll do is, I think they'll redo Sabine or have another version of Sabine or something like that. I think they'll make Spectres that all work together as one unit. And they'll have their little minis, and they can go into one unit, kind of like the Bad Batch. And I don't think they'll, like, take out Sabine. I don't think they'll completely replace Sabine with that. I think they'll, kind of just make an alternate version, kind of like with Echo. You have different versions of Echo, and it might be like a scaled down version of Sabine because maybe she's a little younger. Maybe she's fighting with these guys. Maybe the version we have of her is like after the Ghost Crew or something like that. It's like maybe I think the version of Sabine we have right now is a version that wants to run with Mandalorians a little bit more than she wants to run with Ezra, and so I think this is time for her to make a version of her that's a little bit less synergistic. Oh, which is another thing. And here's another thing. Clan Ren will still get that synergy because if you're running a version of Sabine kind of like the Bad Batch, that's all out there. So Clan Ren would still have synergy with the Spectre Squad because there's actually a Sabine there, unless they want to go ahead and like errata them, Oh, Andrew Lynch, great question. Sorry if I'm jumping around a little bit. Sometimes a good question comes along that captures, well, maybe not necessarily, not a good question, and that other questions are bad, but sometimes they'll just be just the right question that kind of grabs me and hooks me or pulls me away, and now I'm going to talk about that for 15 minutes. So, has there been, even though it's May the 4th, has there been any news on Star Trek Into the Unknown? No. I have no idea. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to be like Q3 of this year or later. I think it's going to be this year. I think it's going to be later in the year. It's just so strange to me that it got pushed back a lot. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and I don't really want to dig too much. I don't want to rustle any jimmies. WizKids has been really cool. They've been communicating with me, and when appropriate, like not right now. Like there's some kind of hold. They're in some kind of holding pattern. Is all I know. But I don't know. I feel like this is a weird time for a lot of different gaming companies. I'm seeing a lot of stuff happen. But yeah, so I don't know what's going on over there right now. But I wish them well. I hope that it was supposed to. Yes, it was supposed to release in April. It just got a delay. I mean, I think it has something to do with licensing, but I don't know. It could be anything. We could speculate until the cows come home. I'll give you some speculations. If I'm a board game developer and I'm pushing out, Crabbok war game, and I say it's going to be out in April, maybe I get my sample box and it's all wrong, and I have to have an entire reprint done. That could happen. Maybe, if it's a licensed game, maybe a licensor says, hey, you know what, these crabs aren't the right shade of red, and we didn't tell you to do blue crabs. or something like that. The crabs don't have nunchucks, and they're supposed to have nunchucks, and we have to go back to the drawing board. It could be anything like that. It could be that your shipment's stuck on a boat in the Suez Canal, which was a very real thing not too long ago for a lot of folks. So delays do happen, but I don't have any cause for worry about it right now. It's just a delay, and it's a bummer. I would have loved to have had it already on my tabletop. I would have loved to have been playing it already, especially with the lack of Star Wars Armada news. I was really hoping that, and the thing is, I've had the demo kit for a long time. I have some Star Wars Unlimited product under my roof right now that I cannot talk about. But you've seen other people with the preview kits. You've seen them talk about it. You've seen them make content with it. I guess I shouldn't say that I cannot talk about it at all, but I can't make content with it. So it's kind of sitting in a box right now. And then once I get the word that things are going to roll again, I'll start playing it again and getting refreshed on the gameplay and rules, because I played it when I first got it, kind of had it figured out and sorted out for the most part, and it was I really liked it. So I will say, while I can't talk about it very much, I'll say this: I really like it. I think it's got great potential. Will I be attending Gen Con? I don't know. Maybe. Cons are expensive, and I don't have that much money. So if I could find somebody to, if a company wants to give me a hotel room, and once like I've seen this, it's happened before they used to do this with Asmodee, then absolutely I'll go. But if I'm just like paying my own way to go, I don't know. Every day into the unknown is delayed as an extra day of marriage. That's because your wife is going to leave you. I don't know if your wife's going to leave you. I think there's enough stuff in the core box that you might not have to buy any extra ships. And I don't know if there's going to be a whole lot of incentive to go like heavy meta into like, oh, I want to buy 3 core boxes so I can run 3 Galaxy class and stuff like that. I don't know if that'll even be feasible or even legal to run that many. I do think it's going to be a little bit like Legion, in a way where you have certain classes of ships, or certain categories, not classes, but categories of ships, like small escorts and large capital ships and things like that, where you're kind of required to run minimums, maybe even maximums of some of those different ranks or categories. Because I've seen certain things, like there was a ship I think it's the Jem'Hadar ship in the preview kit, that costs 0 points. And to me, that's like, well, why would you make a ship that costs 0 points? Because then I could just run infinity ships and win by attrition every time. So there's got to be some minimums and maximums. Like maybe you can only run like 3 escorts. Or maybe you must run at least 3 escorts, but you can only run 6, or a maximum of 6, or something like that. And, or maybe there's a set number, because I still like anything that costs 0 seems interesting. Or maybe that'll be common to have ships that cost 0. Because the Defiant has a cost, but it's more than 0. I don't remember what that cost is right now. I have the box closed up and it's put away right now. It's pretty cool. And to be fair, the Defiant is more powerful than the basic Jem'Hadar ship that you get in the starter. That's like, and the gameplay of it was simple, and it covered like 3/4 of the rules. It definitely left some things out. But it does a great job to whet the appetite. It's basically saying, this is what this system can do, and here are some things that this system can do. Now, would you like to know more? And you're like, yes. So that's exactly how I felt after playing it. And so I guess I can talk kind of loosely about it without making content with it. Does the big DS9 model for X-Wing style Star Trek game going to be the right scale for a homebrew game of Into the Unknown? I think so. I don't know if it's going to be the exact right scale. I don't think they're doing a true scale. I think they're doing a sliding scale, but it's going to be a lot more accurate. That allows them to make something that's a little over the top size without having to worry about like if it's a 1-to-1 match to the exact ratio of everything else. Remy says, you're surprised there was no Star Wars sale today in the local shops. Was there a sale in my area? I did not even leave the house today. I had a ton of things to do around the house. I was playing the honeydew list. We're going to do another giveaway soon. I was hoping we could get to 50 viewers. If we get to 50 viewers, we'll do a bonus giveaway because we already did one. So you guys are just joining. We were doing some Director Krennic giveaways. I've already announced those. And I'm going to do bonus giveaways every 50 viewers. So if you wouldn't mind, if you want to help out, make sure you're liking the stream, all that good stuff. If you want to share this stream in some of your like groups or social media groups and stuff like that, the more viewers we get, the more giveaways we will do. Have I heard of the fan expansion for Rebellion? No. I don't know if I want to. I kind of hate homebrew. I might look into it or something like that. I don't like fan expansions for stuff. And I know that sounds a little weird because like I've made my own expansions for like Armada and stuff. It's fun to make them, but they're not necessarily balanced. Look at like Rapid Reinforcements 2, the first version of Anakin. Just completely broken. Like one ship could just take down a whole fleet. Everybody thinks their own homebrew is awesome. That's what happens. Wow, I have some old promos here. Okay, I'm going to do a giveaway before we hit 50. And if we get 50, we'll do another one. And then if we hit 100, we'll do another one on top of that. So what we're going to do is, I've got a bunch of cards here from the old Star Wars LCG. These were given out at... Does anybody here play the Star Wars LCG? Because if you have no interest in these, then, or if you know somebody who plays them or something like that, then sure, go on in for it. But this is going to be like 6 promo cards for the Star Wars LCG. It's a Yoda card, Seeds of Decay here, Dagobah Training Grounds, Yoda, You Seek Yoda. Oh, there's 2 of those. 2 Yoda, You Seek Yodas, and then Dagobah Nudge. So for the Star Wars LCG, if anybody plays the Star Wars LCG and wants some old promos, or if you have a friend who plays them, they might share them up. Just do a hashtag Star Wars LCG in the chat, and you'll be entered to win one of those. We'll announce that in a little bit. So that's a little bonus one. Yeah, we're going old school today. We've got some old stuff. I don't know if I have any old Imperial Assault promos. I think I gave all those away already. But yeah, what do I got here? What is in here? What is this? I've got a little bag of goodies here, of stuff to give away. We are going to do we'll do a Legion giveaway at 50. I think that'd be a good one. We got a couple of folks. All right, well that's good. Let's give people some more time. Let's see. So what else is new? New game, Leviathan Wilds. This one I did a review of. Not too many watched it. I didn't do a full review. I did an unboxing. But this is a solo game. So I'm going to talk about this for a minute while we kill some time. First off, I was written to by one of the developers of this game, and they're like, hey, some of us we formed a new studio. We used to work for Fantasy Flight Games. We've worked on games like X-Wing and so on and so forth. Even though this isn't a Star Wars game, we could use the coverage. Would you be interested in checking it out? And I'm like, okay. So like the pitch was like that. It was a boss battler cooperative game. And I'm like, that's not usually my style of game. It's not something I'm into. I usually don't play co-ops as much. But I'll be happy to give it some coverage. So, and the bonus is that they're also called Moon Crab games, which is pretty fun. But it's a very pretty game. If you want to check out, I published an unboxing of it. We looked at the components and the insert. It's very, very pretty on the inside. They did a great job with the insert. And to me, the insert in this game represents how every company should make their games. It's very cool. So anyway, if you're interested and want to check it out, it was published a few days ago. If you go to my channel, it's a couple days ago. Definitely check that out. I love it when people put a lot of thought into the insert and the organizer for their game and some of that other great stuff. Peter's having a Rebellion game today. You love my Clone Wars version idea? Yeah, me too. I wish they would make something like that. It'd be really, really fun. What are you thinking for the Legion giveaway? I'm thinking about doing a Legion giveaway. You'll have to wait and see. I'm a smart aleck, aren't I? You wish they would make Galactic Marines for Legion. I think they will. I think anything can happen for Legion. Let's see here. Let's see. Do you think there will be? I'm going to scroll up a little bit because I did miss some comments and stuff, and I apologize about that. Do you know it's this? Do you think there'll be more Episode 1 love for Shatterpoint just because it's the anniversary year? I thought we were going to see a lot of stuff from Phantom Menace that we didn't see this year. I thought for sure we'd have saw Gungans already. Like, where in the heck are the Gungans? Like, they should totally be showing up. Where's Qui-Gon Jinn? Like, what in the world? There's no Jar Jar Binks, no Qui-Gon Jinn, no Boss Nass, no Captain Tarpals, no. Me's be sending you through the planet core. You know, I mean, like, where's? Me's gonna speed you away. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know. I love that movie, and I really should have gone and seen it in the theaters today. I just couldn't. It's too much. Remy says, felt like trying Outer Rim solo. Setup time was long and you haven't even started the game yet. I remember I was playtesting Outer Rim. And I think it made it into the game where like, if you're playing solo, I think you can play against like 2 other AIs. I think there's like multiple AI like profiles. So I think it's a pretty comprehensive solo game if you want to do that. It's okay. You know, I wish I liked Outer Rim more. It's one of those things. Like, I bought the expansion. I have never played it. Never. And I don't think I ever will. I just said, hey, I have Outer Rim, and I playtested the heck out of the expansion. Like, I playtested that a lot. And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't want to play it, because I played it, like, so many times already. And I just don't want to play it anymore. But, no, I playtested Outer Rim a lot, too. And I played Outer Rim a lot when it was like being first released at Star Wars Celebration, and then at Gen Con. Thereafter, I was teaching it. I got like one of the very first copies, one of the first unboxings on YouTube of that one. You know, it's fine. It's a good game and all. It's just not. I don't know. I can't even tell you what it is that I don't like about it. I like a lot of things about it. Like, on paper, it's great. It's just, I don't know. It feels a little linear to me. I think that's the problem. It feels a little too linear. Like, if you're a combat-oriented character, you've got to keep going combat. If you're a drop off and deliver character, you've got to keep going drop off and deliver, because everything, like, because you could do something else, but then you'd be like, okay, well, that's like giving your opponent like extra victory points to start a game or something like that. It's like, why shoot yourself in the foot and throw away your natural advantage, you know? And I don't think Outer Rim really works very well to make yourself kind of a jack of all trades and to spread out and to do a little bit of everything. I don't think that actually works well in that game. We are up to 41 viewers right now. If we hit 50, we're going to do another giveaway, which is pretty cool. So make sure you're sharing this out with your friends and your groups and all of that good stuff. And let's kind of push those numbers up a little bit, which is always a fun thing. Let's let's announce the winner for the Star Wars LCG giveaway, the second giveaway of the night. Let's see. I'm gonna get our winner selected here. It's gonna be Forsaken Pixel. Congratulations, Forsaken Pixel. You're winning all 6 of these Star Wars LCG promo cards. These are old. They're old. Hopefully you can put them to good use. Go ahead and shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com and tell me what you've won. And make sure you know your address, because I'll ship this to you. And I need to be able to write your address on an envelope, which means you need to know your address. You would not believe how many people win stuff, and when I ask for their shipping information, they don't know their address. It happens sometimes, more often than I would say. Now, I'm exaggerating a little bit. That's not necessarily true. People know their address. They just, I don't think people send as many. I grew up in an age where we used to write letters, and a lot more frequently. It happens a little bit here. By the way, it's a great thing to do, especially if you're romancing somebody and you want to actually like write them a handwritten letter. Step 1, practice your handwriting quite a bit. Get that a little bit better. Step 2, write them a letter. And it could be a 1-pager, it could be a 2-pager. But tell them things that you like about them or whatever. It'll make them smile. And then step 3, get their address. Make sure you know how to like address an envelope. Name, address, like street address, number, street, and apartment number if applicable, then city, state, zip, and country code below if it's international. There's just so many people that kind of get the formula wrong. Like they're like, oh, I'm in this state. I'm in Texas. No, I need your whole address. Oh, I'm at 123 Apple. I'm like, is that the street? It's a road, actually. Oh, so is it 123 Apple Road? Yes, that's right. Okay, what city? And what's the zip? All right. So is this your address? And they're like, oh, no, that's wrong. I'm like, you could have just given me the whole thing right away. I've had cases, not too many, but it's just awkward when it's like that. So yeah, very interesting stuff. So what do you think the odds are that we'll see Mace and Sindel Tawani for Star Wars Legion? I don't even know who Sindel Tawani is. Is that one of the Jedi from the High Council? Mace Windu I think is likely. Yeah, I think Mace Windu is likely. I think Depa Billaba is likely. She was in the Shatterpoint novel, as well as, of course, being Freddie Prinze Jr.'s master, Kanan Jarrus' master. But yeah, are we going to get a what to buy first for Legion in 2024? Maybe. I don't want to do it just yet, as we have had hardly anything come out in 2024. I don't want to do a whole new video when there's just like 2 new units. I may do it. I may push it back, and I might do one kind of later in the year, going into 2025. I'm not sure yet, though. I might still turn around and do a 2024 version. I don't think. I think my current what to buy first is still largely up to date. You would just kind of change a few things. It does really look like the Clone Commandos are going to be dominating the meta. I feel like they're going to completely dominate. I think you will have to run Republic, and you will have to run Triple Commando if you're trying to be a Republic player, or I feel like that's going to be disproportionately powerful compared to everything else new that's coming out, and it makes me worry that even more stuff coming out soon will be disproportionately powerful as well. Keith says they might buff the Ewoks too much. I still haven't painted my Ewoks. I don't want anything to do with Ewoks. I don't know what it is. Like, Return of the Jedi is my favorite movie. My favorite Star Wars movie. I grew up loving Return of the Jedi. Yeah. Could you do those lists as a Christmas gift? For Christmas time would be a good time to do it because it would still be a 2025 themed video. That's possible. That is very possible, actually, as a matter of fact. Put Gungan on Ewoks. Depa isn't in Shatterpoint. No, Depa is absolutely in. I'm sorry. Okay, Depa Billaba is in Shatterpoint, but not in the game Star Wars Shatterpoint. Troy, let me change things up and clarify because I think I've created some confusion. There was a book called Shatterpoint that featured Mace Windu. And in this book, it explained that his power, his specific power within the Jedi Order was that he could find shatter points. And he could, and they explained how a shatter point would be possibly, you have a giant, like a turtle shell of armor, but this is the one point that will cause the whole thing to shatter. But it also applied more metaphorically and, all right, well, I don't want to go too far, but it could apply to like the weakness in somebody's defenses or the greater strategy for where we can punch through with our army, and get, break their lines and all of this other stuff. And yes, in that novel, he was trying to rescue Depa Billaba, who was his Padawan and who had gotten herself into a sticky situation. And and so I'll leave it at that. So, let's see. Sveltis89 said, had the closest Armada game I've ever had today. Executor 2 versus, so that's a high point game, apparently, versus an Imperial fleet made of 2 Architans, a Gladiator, an IST-2 with Vader in command. Ended with the SSD on 6 HP and the ISD on 3 HP. Sounds like a very close game. Was that 600 points, I'm guessing? Probably. 600 points is a fun point limit to play for Armada because it opens up a whole lot of new doors. I think that'd be a really fun thing if they changed the point limit to 600 points. I'd love to see it. Or, I mean, we can always just play that way. It could be like this season, we're just going to play 600-point games, and we're going back to 400 in the following year. Wasn't she also Kanan's master? Yes, yeah. Depa Billaba was, I know, at the time that they made the Shatterpoint book, I don't think Star Wars Rebels had come out yet, so they hadn't put that much thought into Depa Billaba and as far as like what Padawans she had and so on and so forth. But they definitely, that story is not canon anymore because the Bad Batch kind of shows Star Wars Rebels and Kanan talking about Depa Billaba and how things were like, just because she dies with Order 66 and during Shatterpoint, I believe she was alive at the end of that book, but was never going to be, raising any Padawans and fighting on the front line again. I think she was like brain damaged or something like that. Do you think we'll ever get Savage Opress, P, Vizsla, Mandalorian Guard, and Death Watch Mandalorians for Shadow Collective? So in Legion. I think Pre Vizsla, definitely needs to show up. Savage Opress definitely needs to show up. Like, I've got him right here for Shatterpoint. That's one of the things that annoys me about Shatterpoint is that it's so close. It's only a little bit bigger than Legion. And so when you see all the stuff that we've been begging for years in Legion come to Shatterpoint instead, it's just like what's the word? I don't know what the word is to describe it is. And it's like, because I don't want to hate on the Shatterpoint community for getting something cool. But I'm like, come on, man. We've been asking for that forever, So I think all of those things are possible. I just feel like Legion is in a place now where we're probably going to get 6 expansions a year. Or thereabouts. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on the year. I don't think we're going to get a ton of new content for Legion, but we're going to get some new content for Legion. It's definitely a high-performing game. It may just be a temporary thing while they're doing all these reprints. It's possible that after the reprints are over, they're going to be like, all right, Mega Infusion, like 2026 is going to be the year where we have 32 new Legion expansions coming out. Boom, shakalaka, boom. Like, that could totally happen. But one of the things that really needs to happen, I think, is the Shadow Collective needs a little bit more. I mean, they are a faction. They are, I mean, they're not a faction, but they're a battle force that's unique because they're basically their own faction. Um, they're the only battle force that has, you know, well, no, I won't say they're the only battle force that has stuff that can only go in it. They're the only shit, yeah. Well, they're the only battle force that have characters that by at least by name only exist within that battle force. Um, you know, Darth Maul does have a separatist version as well, but like look at Gar Saxon, he's only in that battle force. So yeah, there's definitely some of that. We're going to announce a giveaway that's going to go up on our Discord, and also some stuff that's going to go up on Patreon. So we're going to do a CommsNet, both on Discord and on Patreon. So these are just Armada promos. So if you're a Star Wars Armada player, you know you have some opportunities to win those. Those are going to go up after the stream. I'm not going to do it right now. And then we're also going to do for Star Wars Legion. Let me see here. That's okay. That's a cool one. All right, we're gonna do a coordinated fire promo on Patreon for Star Wars Legion as well. So that'll show up on Patreon as well for patrons to have extra chances to get cool stuff, and we'll keep things going. Yeah, we're at 42 right now. I don't think we've broken 50 yet, so we are definitely getting there. So what have you guys been doing for May the 4th? As anybody, I know some folks said they were getting some gaming going. Some people were looking at some new stuff. Bossy Grim says, "Do you think Marok could be a unit for Legion?" I think there's a place for him. I think there's a place for him in a Dathomirian battle force. You know, look, there's a lot of stuff that should happen for Dathomir. I really would like to see a whole Dathomir battle force for Legion. I think it works really, really well. You've got Night Sisters, you've got Night Brothers, you've got Archers, you've got Swordsmen, you've got axe-wielding Night Brothers. You've got all of your core options covered. You've got Mother Talzin. You've got Maul. You've got Savage Opress. They both can belong in there also. You've also got, of course, Asajj Ventress, which goes in there. You could do Rancors, and you could do Zombies. You could totally have the Undead be a thing, and get creative with the Undead. Maybe it's not just an army that starts in the ground. Maybe it's an army that starts as a pile of bones, and they don't get raised until like turn 3, or something like that. Or, you know, something crazy like that. There's a lot of stuff like that. Keith says, "My stream is the first Star Wars activity you've done today. You've been working the minis for Slain, Kiss My Axe, and doing some planning for a D&D game." All right, very cool. Yeah, I watched some wrestling today. I was doing some non-Star Wars stuff too. So I, you know, did some different things. I had a lot of cleaning to do, and a lot of grilling to do. We've been changing it up with our diet in our household lately, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard of keto, where you basically don't have any carbs. We've been doing that lately, and it's taking a toll on me. It's taking a toll. We're about a week in, or 6 days in. It's kicking my butt. Remy says, "Maybe the first enemy unit you destroy becomes your zombie unit." I think for the most part, the Night Sisters resurrect their own with their zombie and their witch magic. I would say that possibly you can have it to where, like, if a certain unit dies, they drop like a bones pile, and you can resurrect them. I don't know. By the way, I want to say something about the Bad Batch. And I want to talk about Asajj Ventress a little bit, because I hope this isn't too far out because Assange's episode of the Badge Bash was a long time ago. It was like, what was it, like 6 weeks ago or 2 months ago or something like that? Yeah, here comes the rant. Um, Assange Ventures died in a book called Dark Disciple. And in that book, her death was gut-wrenching. Gut-wrenching death. It was a wonderful book. And the death was powerful, and it meant something. It meant a lot. And when they announced that she was in the trailer for Bad Batch, they're like, don't worry, guys. Don't worry. It will all make sense. We'll totally honor the canon of the story. They did not. At all. I mean, I don't want to. I'm not going to say that they lied, but even though they absolutely lied, they misled, because they're like, we are going to honor the canon of that story, but you didn't. You just made her show up like nothing had happened. And the problem is, yes, you can come up with explanations of, oh, well, there was probably some magic on that planet where they buried her that resurrected her or something like that. Sure, you could come up with that, but they kind of implied that they were going to explain that, and they didn't. They implied that they were going to honor the canon, and they didn't. And it's a little gripe, because realistically, it's a first world problem. It's not a big deal. It's an annoyance of mine, because her death was so powerful and important to the story at that time, and I feel like they should have honored it a little bit more. We're going to do another giveaway here. Even if we don't hit 50 viewers, I'm going to do one anyway before we kind of close out the stream. But yeah. No, it's a huge deal for that story. It's not a huge deal in the grand scheme of things, is what I'm saying. It's like, if Star Wars does something that I'm not super thrilled with, it's not a big deal. Like, I can go on and live my life, and I can still enjoy Star Wars. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. Because at the end of the day, Assange is back alive, and that's awesome. Like, I really think, like, I did read the books, yeah. And I loved that book, and I feel like it cheapens a big part of that book. But maybe they will explain it someday. I'm sure they probably will. But it is like I'm losing my train of thought. Early onset dementia, folks. No, maybe the door is open for a live action Assange Ventress right now. And I think that's cool, because I'd love to see that. It'd be like if they, in the current canon timeline, if they brought back Luke Skywalker and he wasn't a Force ghost, and they didn't explain it, I'd be annoyed, because I'm like, well, how did he come back? But at the same time, I'd also be like, oh, well, he's back. Okay, let's watch. It'd be like that. And I'd still be annoyed that they didn't explain it, because at a certain point that becomes sloppy storytelling, and I think they can do better. I think they ought to do better. But it is what it is. I'm not gonna get too angry. I'm not gonna go all dark side about it. I'm not gonna turn into one of these channels that starts like bad-mouthing Star Wars all the time. But that is a thing that annoyed me, because I feel like when they swore up and down that they were going to preserve the canon and respect the integrity of the Dark Disciple novel, I thought that meant that they would offer some kind of explanation as to how she, was not currently dead. And there was this little throwaway line about her having 9 lives or something like that. It's annoying to me. I thought they could have done better. I'll give you an example where it relates to. Let's rewind a couple years to Solo, a Star Wars story. When the Millennium Falcon was first teased in that movie poster, everybody noticed it had that front piece. So the ship did not look the same as the Millennium Falcon. And people were like, what? How are they changing the Millennium Falcon? Disney's changing the Millennium Falcon. And they were just like, Just it's explained. Watch the movie. Just watch the movie and judge after you watch the movie. And sure enough, they absolutely explain it. It was an escape pod. It was launched and it is gone now, and that's why. And so you're like, okay, you explained it. I feel like they were kind of saying the same thing here with Asajj Ventress, and they did not explain it. So that annoys me. I hope they do better in the future. But also, I'm happy that we might see a live action Asajj, so that's okay. All right, let's do giveaway. Let's do giveaway. Giveaway time. We are gonna do. Okay. This is a double-sided card. This is for somebody in chat right now. Give me a hashtag Legion if you're a Legion player and you want one of these cards. This is a DC 15 Phase 1 Trooper upgrade card, but on the backside is an E5C B1 Trooper for your B1 Battle Droid upgrade. So these are your heavies for your initial core. By the way, I mean, I would like to see more core options. You know, I think we need another clone core option. And I also think we need to go back to. It's tough because it's not Fantasy Flight anymore. It's not the same team. But like they did a Phase 1, Trooper upgrade. They did a Stormtrooper upgrade pack. They did a Rebel Trooper upgrade pack. They did a B1 Battle Droid Trooper upgrade pack. That was cool. We got new options for the very first, for that initial Trooper. We never got a round 2 of those. We never got a Fleet Trooper upgrade pack or Snow Trooper upgrade pack, a Phase 2 Clone Trooper upgrade pack, or a B2 Super Battle Droid Trooper upgrade pack. So, yeah. I don't know what's going on with all that. I don't know why, we never got another one. But I'd like to see more. I'd like to see a little more of that. I think that would be fun. But yes, so that's what's going on. A few more minutes left to enter for that one. And if you don't win anything, don't worry. There's going to be more chances on Discord. Make sure you guys join our Discord in the video description below. We've got some cool stuff in there. And I'm going to start another painting competition soon. I think I am going to go with like an urban... an urban kind of theme for this year's painting competition. One of the things is so I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk lately, and I've been kind of getting the terrain and stuff set up, and I feel like a lot of it also works for Star Wars. There's a lot of Star Wars worlds that still have an urban look to them, and that totally work. Like all of this Disney Plus series, look at that planet that Andor took place on. It was very red brick like works perfect with these red brick buildings up here. Look at Obi-Wan Kenobi. Goes to like a planet, the first planet he goes to after he leaves Tatooine. It looks like a cyberpunk planet. It's very, very cool. So yeah, I think a lot of that urban terrain definitely works. And hopefully I'm going to try and get a real nice battle report with using some urban city terrain here soon. Made a custom battle map with Deep Cut Studios, so that'll be coming in soon. Looking forward to that. All right, we're going to announce our winner for the DC-15 Phase 1 Trooper and the E5C1 Trooper on the other side. And we're going to get all of our stuff together and select a winner here in just a second. Once, twice. All right, our winner is going to be Senate. Congratulations, Senate. You've won the Legion promo. Make sure you just shoot me an email at mailcrabbok.com and let me know what you've won and where you want me to ship it to, and we'll get you squared away. And it's as simple as that. And I think that's it for the giveaways for right now. But yeah, so hopefully, if you haven't already, check out the new trailer for, what's it called? The Acolyte. If anybody is interested in watching that, I'm curious if you've read any of the High Republic books. I don't think it's necessary reading, but I think it's good stuff. Because there's like Vernestra Rowe is in this trailer, and she's a character that's in the High Republic books, and so I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Um, so yeah, Battlefield 2 is glitched. A bunch of people's progress got reset, but the levels did not. Oh, okay. I haven't played Battlefield or Battlefront 2 in a long time. Um, so is Carrie Ann Moss the murdered Jedi? I don't know. I don't know. Um, it's interesting. I just hope like it's not using the same bad guys that the High Republic series is doing, because it's supposed to be like a separate story. Although I wouldn't mind seeing the Nihil. I kind of don't want to. There's certain things I don't want to see. Like there's this beast that kind of eats the Force and cuts off a connection with the Force and scares Jedi and then turns them to dust. And then there's the tree monsters and all kinds of weird stuff. And like some of that stuff I don't really want to see. But I wouldn't mind seeing the Nihil. I don't even know. I stopped reading High Republic books, and I don't even know where, like a good place to jump back in. I think they kind of stopped making stuff in that story, in that timeline. They kind of jumped back. So I was reading High Republic books. I was reading all of them. You know, you got to like this. Phase 1 was done, and I read all of Phase 2 or whatever, and then they said, all right, now we're going back in time before the start of the High Republic. And I was just like, oh, why'd we do that? We got a super chat from Peter von Bleichert. What's going on, Peter? Thank you so much for the super chat. He says, May the 4th be with you, and also with you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for, yes. Oh, very cool, very cool. No, that's awesome. That is awesome. But yes, so we are. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where we're at for the High Republic right now. It's a tough time because like the books just I stopped watching them. I stopped paying attention. I'm watching them. Was watching the books and nothing happened. They just sat there like books. I was watching it all day long. Nothing happened. No, I do a lot of Audible, and I usually like Star Wars audiobooks, but I'm not gonna lie, they're terrible. For the most part, there's some great ones. And the High Republic was pretty good ones. They were better than most. So I was like looking to get back in, but then when they jumped back in time, and then I just couldn't do it. I get so frustrated with Star Wars having no ability whatsoever to tell a story from beginning to end. It's like there can be 10 significant events. They start at 4, then go to 5, then go back to 2, then go to 6, and then go 3, and then 1. And then 10, and then 7, 8, 9. You know, like it's so weird to me. Like that. Like what? Don't tell me a story that way. Either go all the way forward or all the way backward, like a Memento or something like that. Yeah. Adepticon and the New Worlds 2025. Any plans? I am definitely going to try to go to Adepticon next year. I think that's. If I do any conventions at all, that's going to be at the top of my priority list. Definitely going to try to. Hopefully, I can get a hotel. Hopefully. Because I'm thinking since it's in Milwaukee, there should be a little more room. I heard that there's like better. It's a better venue as far as space. So yeah, Adepticon should be a fun time. It's like all the war games, and there's so many cool war games that I'm interested in now, just beyond the Star Wars games too. Like Cyberpunk is amazing, and then there's Mantic has Halo Flashpoint coming out later this year. I'm really interested to check that out. That one looks a lot of fun. So it's an exciting time. You haven't read any of the books. The very first one for High Republic is a good one. If you're looking for a High Republic book, if you're just looking for a Star Wars book in general, Thrawn, the first Thrawn book, but all of the new Thrawn books that Timothy Zahn has done are very, very good. If you like Thrawn, also, this is a tough one. What's the name of it? It was the Romeo and Juliet story. Anybody read this book? Yeah, you're gonna enjoy Cyberpunk. It's you do have to put the minis together. They're not very hard to put together because assembling the miniatures for Cyberpunk, you just need a little super glue and some clippers to clip them out. You may want to kind of clean off some of the mold lines, but they go together very easily, and most of them are only like 1 or 2 pieces. I think there's one that's like 3 pieces, and that's it. Um, and you have different head options and stuff like that. Lost Stars, thank you, Andrew Cook. Lost Stars is a great Star Wars book. I think you will really, really enjoy Lost Stars. It is the perfect Star Wars book for somebody jumping in that doesn't necessarily want to have to read a whole trilogy of stuff to understand what's going on. It's a standalone book. It references events that are happening in the main Star Wars trilogy. It's beautiful and one of my favorite books. I did a top 10 like Star Wars books thing a long time ago, and I still stand by it for the most part. They're pretty good. Um, I stopped reading Star Wars books a while back though because they were just while there were some gems, there were some really bad ones. There were so many. There were more bad ones than good ones, and it felt like they were just pressing these authors to come out with like, you gotta have another book every 3 months. You gotta have another book. Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. And I could kind of feel that in the books, like they just were not good. Um, yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna wrap things up for out here. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. May the 4th be with you. I'm gonna go watch some Disney Plus and see some new Star Wars content. And hopefully you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I also gotta prep a fleet for some Armada tomorrow as well. I'm gonna be posting. Don't forget, I am gonna be posting some other giveaways on Patreon and in Discord. So stay tuned for that. I will talk to you later. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. So say we all. And party on, dudes. And always wash your socks. See ya.